Coming up on NBC 26 today, closures hit Kimberly-Clark and the Fox cities, how leaders are hoping to save jobs.
Everybody knows somebody in town that works for KC.
A committee working to help those that could be out of a job, the resources you can use. Plus, a call for action, what Governor Walker said about the closures and why he's optimistic. Well, Fish, I was excited. Winter wasn't here for a while, but now it's made a comeback.
It is definitely back, Mo. That was a strong cold front that moved through last night. I don't know if you heard it on your windows this morning.
You felt it.
Yeah, you felt it. You could hear it kind of rattling your windows a little bit. And this is that cold front that's worked its way through. And it's really dropped the temperatures. Notice on the back side of it, not much going on. But as it passed, a couple snow showers. So if the roads aren't treated or sidewalks, just watch. There might be a couple slick spots, but that's not the big story. The big story are the colder temperatures right now. It's only 10 in Green Bay. I think this is pretty much the warmest we'll be all day, at least in Green Bay. Look at the winds right now, sustained at 25, giving us a wind chill of 11 below. So that's the story. We got cold and we got wind chills. It's 3 in Clintonville, 7, Shawano, Oconto, 0 Mountain. Look at Anago right now. It's 5 below 0. So temperatures still falling from the north and west, and these wind chills falling too. It may feel like 2 below in Manitowoc right now, but that's going to get colder and colder for a wind chill as the morning goes on. Feels like 15 below in Oshkosh, 21 below in Wautoma. Now your forecasted wind chills as we head towards the lunch hour, if you're going out and about, just bundle up. We've been here before, feeling between like 10 and 20 degrees below 0 for a wind chill. This evening still feeling like around 10 degrees below 0. So I do have Langlade County under a wind chill advisory until noon today. That doesn't mean the rest of us going to see those cold wind chills. We're going to keep those around. Here's your day planner. Most of us single digits now for the rest of the day. The high pretty much right around now, 10 degrees, that's it. So Mo, I'm going to let you know how long we keep the cold around and when we're probably going to be shoveling some snow coming up.
Bundle up, like you said. Thank you so much, Fish. And a good Thursday morning to all of you. I'm Mo Hyder. Brooke has a day off. Kimberly-Clark, one of the largest employees in the Fox cities, announcing layoffs and plant closures. Our Eric Kress spoke with leaders about the news. He begins our team coverage.
Wednesday morning, Kimberly-Clark announced that they'll be closing 2 paper mill facilities here in the Fox Valley. And that move could leave up to 600 people without a job. The 150-year-old company that sprouted whole communities in the Fox Valley says by closing as many as 10 plants across the world over the next 3 years, they could save over $500 million. But the cost, according to Neenah's mayor, is serious for the Fox Valley as a whole.
These are high-paying, family-supporting jobs. There's a lot of families that rely on this paycheck and this company to pay the bills, to pay the mortgage. They live in our community, and so that is somewhat, concerning to me.
Now, Neenah's mayor says he reached out to Governor Walker's office on Wednesday to try to encourage conversations between union leaders, the state, and Kimberly-Clark, all in hope that the state could provide the international company with some incentives to keep at least one of the plants open. Now, if both plants do close, Kimberly-Clark would still employ about 1,600 people here in the Fox Valley, but the economic impact would likely still be felt across the region. Keeping you connected in Neenah, I'm Eric Kress with NBC 26.
And the company released this statement saying in part, quote, business decisions that impact our employees are among the most difficult ones we have to make. We don't take those decisions lightly. We do remain committed to treating our employees fairly and respectfully. Well, the impact of layoffs and closures could go well beyond company employees. Our Matt Jarko spoke to how the community is dealing with the shocking news. He continues our team coverage.
Residents and business leaders say everybody in Neenah knows somebody who works at Kimberly-Clark. It's part of the reason why this announcement is being met with such surprise and sadness. People and business owners say workers at Kimberly-Clark are also shoppers and customers across the community. But just as important, people say many of them are friends and family to this community. Hearing about the plant's closure is a difficult thing to face.
I think our community was very successful over the years because of it. Now it's hard to watch them go away.
With so many workers possibly now losing their jobs, people just don't know if those workers will stay in the community. Residents say part of what makes this announcement so difficult right now is the uncertainty. They're not sure if these workers, friends and families will be able to find work here in the Neenah area. Reporting in Neenah, Matt Jarko, NBC 26.
And Governor Scott Walker staying committed to helping people affected by those layoffs. He was in Marinette yesterday for a ribbon-cutting ceremony. He cited the nearly 100,000 jobs open on the state's job website. Walker added that those jobs would help people get back on their feet.
If they follow through with this announcement today, that we would be able to help every single person that's affected by this be able to find gainful employment in a similar field, because we need people in manufacturing all throughout the Fox Valley.
Representative Amanda Stuck, who represents the Appleton and Menasha area, says, quote, "My heart and my thoughts go out to all the workers and families impacted by these mill closures, but only thoughts can take us so far. They need action at the state level to help stop the bleeding in our community." The help is on the way for more than 600,000 workers impacted by those closures. Shane Gustafson continues our team coverage.
Places like the Fox Cities Job Center here in Menasha are just a few of the resources to help those hundreds of workers find new jobs, a process some say shouldn't take very long. Wednesday afternoon, the Bay Area Workforce Development Group said it didn't expect to see the cuts at Kimberly-Clark for at least 18 months, and several other companies in the area, including some in Green Bay, are looking for people with the skill set that these workers have. Adding their experience will likely make them top candidates for the job. The group says paper jobs have taken the blunt of cuts lately, but say it's still a needed industry, and working with other companies like Appleton Coated already gives them an advantage.
We certainly had employers contacting us who were very interested in doing this. We held a job fair a couple months ago for the Appleton Coated people. We easily brought in about 50 employers with comparable pay and benefits who were looking to hire these individuals. So there's quite a demand out there.
The development board says groups here in the Fox Cities will take the lead when it comes to finding help. The Department of Workforce Development says it plans to meet with each of the affected workers and says the outlook of the paper industry in Wisconsin is still looking strong. Keeping you connected in Menasha, Shane Gustafson, NBC 26.
And for the latest information on those closures, you can visit our website at NBC26.com or even download our app. We've also posted resources for you with information on how you can get help if you are looking for work as well. Also, another round of layoffs announced in the Fox Valley. Yonkers is planning to close at the Fox River Mall. It's one of 4 locations shutting down in northeast Wisconsin. The store's parent company is closing stores nationwide, but it's closing more locations in Wisconsin than any other state.
Yeah, it's kind of sad to see because it's been around for a while and now it's just going to be gone. People need to find other jobs and that's hard to do lately.
And Appleton is the largest in the region to close with 63 employees, but it's not alone. 59 workers in Fond du Lac, 40 in Manitowoc, and 38 in Marinette will all be out of a job over the next 10 to 12 weeks. Dozens of Sears employees also out of work. The retailer announced yesterday it's laying off 220 people from its corporate offices immediately. The company has been struggling with a decline in sales. More layoffs are expected later this year.
All right, get ready. Winter is back in force. Look at this in the Fox Valley currently. 9 degrees, that's it. Not only that, look at the sustained wind, 22. It is blustery out there, giving us a wind chill, at least in the Fox Valley. Appleton, 11 degrees below zero. Current temp, these are pretty much the warmest of the day. Sturgeon Bay, 10 degrees, same with Green Bay. Kewaunee, 15, Manitowoc, 15. Your temps are still dropping as we go through the morning here. And these wind chills, it feels cold out, like 11 degrees below zero. Green Bay and Oconto, 27 below in Anago. So definitely bundle up the kids for the bus stop today. Here's a look at the forecast wind chills. By the noon hour, between about 10 to 20 degrees below zero. And going into the evening hours, still around 10 degrees below zero for a wind chill. So you get the hint, winter is back, and we're going to keep it around that way. Our high temperature early this morning, 10. But look at most of the temperatures all day, single digits. At least we'll see some sunshine. Mo, I'll let you know how long this cold sticks around, and then we're probably going to have to be doing some shoveling coming up.
All right, thank you, Fish. The NTSB says you'll be in Virginia for a while investigating the deadly crash involving a train of Republicans. The train hit a garbage truck yesterday, killing the truck's driver, identified as Christopher Foley. Late last night, the NTSB said it expects to find 2 data recorders from the train. Investigators also said a second person was flown to the hospital. Now, no lawmakers were seriously hurt, but many did help the wounded.
We have, unfortunately, a lot of doctors that are members in both chambers. The first responders were really the member doctors who were demanding to get off the trains.
And the lawmakers eventually got back on the road to West Virginia for a political conference. The NTSB says the investigation won't be done for several months. President Trump is waking up to a Thursday that is all about the Republican Party. This morning, he's headed to that retreat in West Virginia to talk to lawmakers about their plan for the year. After that, he's back in D.C. for a Republican National Committee winter meeting. It's all at his Trump Hotel this evening. But the big story, the potential release of a Republican memo accusing the FBI of abuse of power. The White House says it's likely to be released today. It says the agency abused its power when investigated Trump campaign staffer. Republicans on the House Intelligence Committee wrote the memo. They voted to release it, and Democrats fought it, saying it had factual errors. Democrats worry releasing it could encourage the Trump team to interfere with the Russia probe.
It sent a message to the White House that he can fire Rod Rosenstein or he can fire Bob Mueller, and there are GOP members who are so vested in his presidency that they will roll over. And that will cause a constitutional crisis if that's the message he takes from it.
And Schiff has accused Republicans of secretly changing the memo before they send it to the White House. He said that should cancel the vote to make the memo public. And closer to home now, Wisconsin is teaming up with other states to protect the Great Lakes from Asian carp. This coming from Michigan Governor Rick Snyder. It's part of a plan that would cost $275 million to block the carp's path. Now, this does include an electric fish barrier, noisemakers, and vessel cleansing devices. Michigan, Ohio, and Ontario, Canada are also on board. The Wisconsin DNR has scheduled a public hearing on Racine officials' request to pull 7 million gallons of water per day from Lake Michigan for a Foxconn plant. Under the Great Lakes Compact, all the water diverted from the lake must be returned unless it's evaporated or used in the manufacturing process. The city says nearly 4 million gallons won't be returned. A public hearing is set for March 7th. Well, still ahead, a major credit reporting agency offering an extension for their credit protection deal. Plus, starting today, you could see a little bump in your paycheck. We'll tell you why when we come back.
All right, cold front is now through, and it was strong. All of our wind chills are below zero right now. I'm going to let you know how long this cold sticks around, and well, we're probably going to have to do some more shoveling of that snow. All that, your full Storm Shield forecast.
Thanks for staying with us. You could see changes on your paycheck starting today because of the new tax reform bill kicking in. The U.S. Treasury estimates about 90% of us will see more take-home pay, but here's the issue. You could end up getting too much money or maybe not enough. It all depends how you will file your W-4, and right now it's a guessing game. Therefore, you should not change your withholdings for now.
What the individual needs to do is sit down and see how it's going to affect them individually based on their situation. Once they do that, there'll be plenty of time to change that. It doesn't hurt to even wait until mid-year to change.
And the IRS plans to start a new online calculator that will help people adjust their allowances as well. Equifax will offer a free credit protection deal for 5 more months. The company made the offer after people's personal information was exposed during the breach. That offer is set to expire Tuesday, but Equifax is extending it to June 30th instead. Experts advise that consumers also freeze their credit at Experian and TransUnion as well.
Boy, you're the money man this morning, huh?
Yeah, but that's something you can do inside, luckily. You know, don't have to go outside to do any of these calculations.
Good point, Mo. And I've been crunching the numbers here, and this is what we come up with 24-hour temperature change. You guys, when you go outside, this is how much colder it feels than this time yesterday. 21 degrees colder than this time yesterday in Green Bay. 22 degrees colder in Appleton. Either way you cut it, there's a big change outside. It's a lot colder, and not only that, it's really blustery as well, so that wind making it feel a lot worse. So cold fronts through. On the back side of it, things are quiet, but as it moved on through late last night, there were a couple snow showers. So if the roads aren't treated or sidewalks by you, just be aware there might be a couple slippery spots, but otherwise, things pretty quiet now besides the wind. Maybe you can hear it on your windows going right now. 10 degrees, that's our temperature in Green Bay, and that's probably the mildest will be, yes, mildest, all day. Winds 25 miles per hour sustained, giving us a wind chill 11 below. Yeah, that's a big change, but at least we're going to keep the weather quiet when it comes to precipitation. As we go throughout the day today, there's some sunshine for you at times. Not going to be one of the worst days sunshine-wise, but as I'd say when it's this cold, false advertising. All right, current temps, we got 9 in Appleton. So things have fallen rapidly. Manitowoc, your temperature is still falling. It's 15 degrees by you right now. Look at Wautoma, too. DC Mountain just fell a little bit more. Now you're below zero currently, and all these wind chills are below zero. So things still getting colder. Feels like 11 below in Appleton, Fox Cities, 15 below in Oshkosh, Wautoma, 21 below. Now, the forecast wind chills by around the lunch hour between 10 to 20 below, depending on where you are. Either way you cut it, bundle up. We've been here before. And then as we go into the evening hours, still around 10 degrees below zero for your wind chill. Now, we do have a wind chill advisory going for Langlade County until noon, but that doesn't mean the rest of us aren't feeling those cold wind chills as well. So that's because of the strong cold front. It's now through. And Skycast showing as we go throughout the day, we're going to keep it quiet. Maybe a couple more clouds as you head out to the west. Going through tonight, partly cloudy at times, going to be cold, but the wind dying down late. Not as much wind for tomorrow, but notice things getting a little bit more active. Some snow will be on the way, but most of it gets here for Saturday. As we go through Saturday, how much accumulation? Right now, it looks like a general 1 to 3 inches, a little bit more to the south, and might have a couple isolated totals just a little bit higher than that. So not one of the biggest snows, but still some snow on the way, and that mainly for Saturday. 10 degrees, that's it for today, and that mainly right now. Otherwise, much colder, going to be blustery out there. Tonight, we're going below zero with our actual temperature, 3 below, and then for tomorrow, 12, but luckily just a little bit less wind. So here comes that snow mainly for Saturday. That's the main batch moving on through, a general 1 to 3, maybe a couple isolated higher totals. And then for Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday.
I'm glad we can just stay indoors for that one. You know, we don't have to go outside and watch it. Most people do that indoors.
Yep, 15 degrees. And if you want to grill, we're Wisconsin grillers. You can go out, just put on the winter coat.
Yeah, certainly can. Thank you so much, Fish. Well, still ahead, scientists say they may have found a cure for anxiety, and it's somewhere you might not expect. Plus, people spending less time on Facebook nowadays. We'll tell you why when we come back. Welcome back. Marijuana remains against federal law in the United States, but that hasn't stopped the industry from growing. Despite opposition from the current administration, 9 states and Washington, D.C. now allow recreational usage of marijuana. 30 states, however, allow for medical use only. Industry experts say the booming pot industry made nearly $9 billion last year. With those numbers, more states are considering legalization. Also, scientists have found good news for the estimated 40 million Americans battling anxiety. They found what they call anxiety cells in mice. They're hopeful it could lead to a treatment for humans. The mice only produce those cells when they were put in stressful situations, though. Scientists were able to manipulate the cells to make the mice more or less anxious. And maybe this could help you too. A company report says we've spent 50 million fewer hours per day on Facebook in the last few months, and that's all part of the company's plan. The dip came after they started showing fewer viral videos and posts. Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg says scrolling aimlessly on your feed can be unhealthy. And turning to weather now, Fish, you can't really scroll aimlessly on your feed outside today because your phone might freeze.
It's cold, it's blustery out here in Mo. We've got debris. Someone's garbage can is blowing around. I've seen that all morning.
You got to pick that up, Fish.
It's right here. Don't worry, I'll put it in the garbage or recycling bin if it's recyclable. It's cold, it's blustery, there's stuff blowing around all over out here. 10 degrees, that's our current temperature in Green Bay. So the temperature has been going down and down, and that's the story. Cold and blustery. Look at these wind chills. Currently, when you step out the door, completely different than yesterday. It feels like 11 below. Currently in Appleton, 15 below in Oshkosh, and 21 below as you head towards Wautoma. Your forecast for today, I'm saying a high of 10, which is our temperature right now. Still some temperatures falling a bit as we go through the early morning here, but otherwise, Mo, get ready. If you haven't been outside yet, feels like the middle of winter out here.
Fish, pick that up. Seriously.
Got it.
All right, well, still to come. One police department in Northeast Wisconsin making it part of their mission to help those in need. In our NBC 26 Cares report, we'll be right back. Welcome back. A local police department is taking a bite out of hunger. Stacey Engelbretson shows you their brand new plan to feed those in need in our NBC 26 Cares.
About 200 families every week rely on Peter's Pantry for food. The Manitowoc Police Department recognizes that need and is now spearheading a new campaign to help keep the shelves stocked.
They call it the 10 Most Wanted.
A new food drive launched by members of the support staff at the Manitowoc Police Department.
We wanted to give back to the community and make people aware of the problems that people are going through.
Jerry Lynn Christensen and her team put out collection bins at 5 locations in the city. They're asking you to drop off 10 non-perishable food items each month, January through April, to help feed those they protect and serve.
Our officers go in houses all the time that see children that are not well fed or well kept, and those conditions they see on a daily basis.
Many who are struggling turn to Peter's Pantry.
The expenses are up on clothing and even food items if they have to go purchase it. If we can help them out in any way, it's a big help to them.
Manager Woody Schulander says 1,500 people a year use his pantry to eat. With such high demand, a new food drive like this ensures no one will leave empty-handed.
There's people that are so happy to get something.
Each month of the drive has a different theme, requesting a certain type of food donation. January was Super Bowl during National Soup Month. February is Oodles of Noodles. March is Canned Mania, seeking canned fruits and vegetables. And April is Breakfast Bonanza. In just the first month, the police department dropped off over 1,200 food items.
It's like opening presents, not knowing what's going to be in each box.
I can't believe the outpour that we have gotten. People will call and say, can I still drop off? It's like, we're just amazed.
And with the food drive only 1 month in, organizers hope it will end just as strong as it started.
We hope that we've made a difference and the families can take some of that pressure off of them.
To see the recipients, the people coming through and the smile on their faces, it just makes you feel really good. It does.
You can drop off your donations at the Manitowoc Police Department, City Hall, the Public Library, the Public Utilities Building, and the Senior Center. Keeping you connected, Stacey Engebretson, NBC 26.
Such a kind gesture, and the police department says after the holidays, food donations tend to go down, so that's why they chose to do the drive during this time.
All right, get ready. When you go outside, it feels like the middle of winter again. 10 in Green Bay, and if you look off in the distance, a couple wispies falling out of the clouds. Just a few stray flurries out there, but the bigger story, the cold, the wind. Look at the winds right now, sustained at 25, giving us a wind chill of 11 below. Now look at our temperatures, completely different than this time yesterday. 15 in Manitowoc, and those are dropping right now. It's 6 in Shawano, 3 in Clintonville. You get the hint. It's cold. Not only is it cold, it's blustery out there. So it's given us a wind chill of what feels like 15 below in Oshkosh, 21 below in Wautoma. All of us today going to have these wind chills staying below 0. Here's what I'm talking about. Heading towards the noon hour, if you're going out for lunch, between 10 and 20 below, depending on where you live, the colder wind chills towards Antigo. And then going into the late afternoon, into the evening, still around 10 below for a wind chill. So we got a cold day going on today. Look at most of the temperatures as we have throughout the day in the single digits. I'm going with that high of 10. That's our temperature right now. Now, if you missed how long it's going to stick around, we'll let you know how long the cold stays here and when you're probably going to have to be shoveling. We'll time that out. Coming up, stay with us.
Welcome back. Well, Fish, we're almost there, almost to the weekend.
That doesn't mean the temperatures are getting any better, Mo. If you haven't stepped outside, there is a huge change from this time yesterday. We had a really strong cold front roll on through. That's your story for today. There it is. So that's well off to our south and east, and now we're just pouring in the colder air right out of Canada. You'll notice it outside. I'm also watching just a couple flurries. You can see them in the background here kind of falling out of the clouds. Otherwise, some sunshine for you today, but I'm calling it false advertising because look at our temperature. This is probably the warmest we'll be all day, 10 degrees. And look at the wind right now. Currently in Green Bay, sustained at 25, so it's blustery out there, giving us a wind chill of 11 below. All of our temperatures now much colder than this time yesterday. It's 6 in Shawano, 3 Clintonville. Manitowoc, this is the warmest part of your day. Your temperature is still dropping. It's 15 there and 6 in Oshkosh. Factor in the wind chill. Well, this is what it feels like outside. 15 below Oshkosh, 11 below Oconto, Shawano 11 below as well. And the forecasted wind chill by around the noon hour if you're going out to lunch, 10 to maybe 20 below for a wind chill. Even going into the evening, still wind chills well below 0. Now, we do have wind chill advisory for Langlade County until noon, but the rest of us still going to be feeling that cold wind chill throughout the day. But we are going to keep it fairly quiet on the precip front. A couple early morning flurries here. Otherwise, pretty quiet day for you. Just watching out there. with a couple snow showers with that front last night, if the sidewalks or streets aren't treated, there might be a couple slick spots, but otherwise most roads are all right. Our high 10, which is our temperature right now. Look at all the single digits going through the day. Mo, I'm going to let you know how long this cold sticks around and when we're going to have to do some shoveling coming up.
All right, thank you, Fish. Kimberly-Clark, the third largest employer in the Fox Cities, announces 2 plant closures. One is on Cold Spring Road in the Fox Crossing, and the non-Woven's plant is on Henry Street in Neenah. Nearly 600 jobs are on the line. Leaders of the city of Neenah are reaching out to state leaders in an attempt to keep one of the plants open.
These are high-paying, family-supporting jobs. There's a lot of families that rely on this paycheck and this company to pay the bills, to pay the mortgage. They live in our community, and so that is somewhat, concerning to me.
And the closures are slated to start a year and a half from now. The company has been in the city for over 150 years. They also released a statement saying in part, quote, business decisions that impact our employees are among the most difficult ones to make. We don't take such decisions lightly. We remain committed to treating our employees fairly and respectfully. Governor Scott Walker says he's sticking behind people impacted by those layoffs. He was in Marinette yesterday for a ribbon-cutting ceremony. He cited the nearly 100,000 jobs open on the state's job website. Walker added that those jobs would be able to help those affected by the recent layoffs.
If they follow through with this announcement today, that we would be able to help every single person that's affected by this be able to find gainful employment in a similar field, because we need people in manufacturing all throughout the Fox Valley.
And Representative Amanda Stuck, who represents the Appleton and Menasha area, says, quote, my heart and my thoughts go out to all the workers and families impacted by these mill closures, but thoughts only can get us so far. We need action at the state level to help stop the bleeding in our community. Workers affected by the cuts will also have a lot of resources that can help them. The Bay Area Workforce Development Group says many of the skilled workers at Kimberly-Clark do have valuable skills that will help them find a job in the future. The group also says the job market is strong right now with a lot of openings. And also for the latest information on the closures, you can visit our website at NBC26.com. You can also download our app. We also posted resources for you with information on how you can get help if you're affected by, if you are an affected employee. Also, another round of layoffs also announced in the Fox Valley. Yonkers is planning to close at the Fox River Mall. It's one of our 4 locations shutting down in northeast Wisconsin. Appleton is the largest in the region to close with 63 employees, but it's not alone. 59 workers in Fond du Lac, 40 in Manitowoc, and 38 in Marinette will be all out of a job over the next 10 to 12 weeks.
All right, Appleton, Fox Valley, boy, is it feeling like winter again. 9 degrees, that's your current temp. Look at the wind, sustained at 22 miles per hour, giving you a wind chill of 11 below. So basically what I'm telling you, if you haven't been outside yet, dress for the middle of winter. That's what it feels like. Because not only do we have these cold temperatures back, it's 3 in Clintonville, that's the actual temp, 2 below in Mountain, 15 in Manitowoc. Your temperatures here are still dropping throughout the morning. Remember, we have the wind, so we've got these wind chills. It feels like 15 below in Oshkosh, 13 below in Fond du Lac. You get the hint. It feels like the middle of winter. And the forecasted wind chills by around lunchtime, you see Appleton feeling like 13 below, Clintonville, Wapaka. You get the hint. Double digits below 0 for wind chills around noon, and even going into this evening, right around 10 degrees below 0 for a wind chill. So the rest of your day today, just watching a couple stray flurries out there, but otherwise a pretty quiet day. Some breaks of sunshine, a high of 10, which is pretty much our temperature right now here in Green Bay. Mo, I'm going to let you know how long this cold sticks around and when we're probably going to have to be shoveling coming up.
All right, thank you, Fish. The NTSB says it will be in Virginia for a while investigating the deadly crash involving a train of Republicans. The train hit a garbage truck yesterday, killing the truck driver, identified as Christopher Foley. Late last night, the NTSB said it expects to find 2 data recorders from the train. Investigators also said a second person was flown to the hospital. Now, no lawmakers were seriously hurt, but many did help the wounded.
We have, unfortunately, a lot of doctors that are members in both chambers. The first responders were really the member doctors who were demanding to get off the trains.
And the lawmakers eventually got back on the road to West Virginia for a political conference. The NTSB says the investigation won't be done for several months. Morgan Geyser will be out today to find out if she'll be sent to a mental health facility. Prosecutors have asked she be sent away for at least 40 years. Geyser and Anissa Wire were charged with stabbing a classmate in the Slenderman case. In December, Wire was ordered committed for 25 years. Well, there's a big fight brewing today between Congress, the White House, and the FBI over a classified memo about the Russia investigation. That memo could go public as soon as today. Tracy Potts is on Capitol Hill with those details.
Hi, Mo. Good morning, everyone. Republicans wrote this memo, and the president is promising to release it, even though his own FBI director says that's a bad idea.
Let's release the memo. Oh, yeah. Oh, don't worry. 100%.
That's President Trump after the State of the Union caught on a hot mic promising to release a classified memo. Republicans wrote that memo. They claim it shows the FBI is biased against the president and used information Democrats paid for to spy on a Trump campaign aide.
It's designed to distract and to undermine the special counsel.
The FBI calls the memo incomplete and misleading, saying, quote, "We have grave concerns about material omissions of fact that fundamentally impact the memo's accuracy." Overnight, the top Democrat on the House Intelligence Committee claimed Republicans made material changes, and what the White House is now reviewing is not what they approved. Two sources tell NBC FBI Director Christopher Wray and Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein went to the White House Monday to urge them not to release it. 5 more FBI officials followed up Tuesday.
It'll be released here pretty quick, I think, and the whole world can see it.
Democrats say only one Republican lawmaker has seen the intelligence behind the memo. They claim the goal is to shake public confidence in the FBI and the Russia investigation. Justice Department officials tell NBC some of the issues in this memo are so sensitive they may not be able to point out what's wrong.
The House Intelligence Committee had already voted to release the memo, giving the president 5 days to stop it. From Washington, Tracy Potts, NBC 26.
And when we come back, the Packers and Bell and Health teaming up, helping out school athletics.
And a strong cold front is through, and when you step outside, boy, are you going to notice the difference. Not only that, we have the wind. I'm going to let you know how long this cold sticks around and when we're probably going to have to be shoveling, all in your full Storm Shield forecast. Stay with us.
Thanks for staying with us. The Green Bay Packers and Bell and Health partnering up to help high schools in the Green Bay area. Yesterday, a partnership with Green Bay's 4 public high schools was announced. Students and parents can buy a baseball cap with a Packers and a Bell and Health logo on it. The caps also have the school's logo on the side of them. Proceeds from that will go towards their athletic programs.
This is a way for students in the community to really get behind each of their high schools, and the Packers were happy to support with our G on the front of the hats.
And the hats are $20 each and are sold at each school.
$20 for a Packers hat?
I would think in this weather you should probably cover your head. You know, it's really chilly.
All right, so what Mo's saying, maybe a Packers winter hat.
That too.
Yeah, there's that.
This will suffice, but another one on top of that.
It's not only just the cold, Mo, it's the wind as well. So first of all, let's talk about the cold and the 24-hour temperature change. Compared to this time yesterday, it's 24 degrees colder in Green Bay, 30 degrees colder in Antigo. Either way you cut it, that's a lot colder than yesterday at this time. That was a strong cold front that moved its way on through. Brought some of us a couple snow showers late last night. Now, if the roads aren't treated in your neighborhood or sidewalks, there might be a little leftover with a couple slippery spots, but that's pretty much gone. Couple flurries out there right now, and you can actually see them off in the distance here falling out of the clouds. But otherwise, Green Bay has now dropped to 7 degrees. It just keeps on falling. We're not going to rebound much from here, by the way. Winds are 17 miles per hour, so it's blustery out there, giving you a wind chill. Feels like 12 below. So welcome back, winter. All right, here's a look at Skycast. Not too much going on in the precipitation department today. Maybe a couple stray flurries. Otherwise, breaks of sunshine out there, but it's going to be cold. That's going to be the biggest story, and these are the current temperatures. Manitowoc, this is the warmest you're going to be all day. It's 15 degrees. Your temperature is still falling. It's 9 in Appleton. Clintonville, now you've fallen to 1 degree. That's it. We're below 0 in Antigo and Mountain. Wind chills, everybody, it feels like you're below 0 right now, like 11 below in Appleton, 21 below in Wautoma. I think you get the hint. Feels like the middle of winter. We've been here before. Just be aware, though, when you step outside. And as we go towards the lunch hour, the wind chills between like 15 and 20 below, and then going into the evening, around 10 below. So feeling like winter. And speaking of wind chills, we do have a wind chill advisory, Langlade County, until noon today. But that doesn't mean like the rest of us not going to be seeing those wind chills too. It still is plenty cold out. So the cold front's through, definitely lived up to its name. Now quiet for the next 2 days during the daytime, but then things start to change after that. Here's a look at Skycast going through the day. Again, pretty quiet day besides the blustery cold conditions. A cold night, we're going back below zero for an actual temperature. Tomorrow during the day, fine, just increasing afternoon clouds. And then we're going to see just a chance of a snow shower in the evening, but the best chance of snow going to be with the next system that gets here on Saturday. So Saturday is going to be our snowmaker here. Here's a look at the snow forecast. Preliminarily looking, a lot of us 1 to 3 inches, maybe a couple isolated higher totals, but either way you cut it, it's not a big snow, but just enough that you're going to have to clean up, and that's Saturday. So 10 degrees today, that's it. That's what it was just a little bit ago. Blustery, much colder, maybe a couple stray flurries. Now as far as tonight, we're going back below zero for a temperature, still blustery out there. And then for tomorrow, well, not going to rebound the temperature that much, 12 degrees, but a little bit less wind, increasing afternoon clouds. That's Groundhog Day, by the way, so we'll see what the groundhog does for tomorrow. And then Saturday, that's our main snowmaker, 1 to 3 inches, maybe a couple isolated higher totals. That moves on out for Sunday, and that's Super Bowl Sunday, which is right here at NBC 26.
Exactly, and that Saturday snow's a sign. Should probably just stay inside.
Well, you know, we're Wisconsinites. I know we can handle winter, but as we go into the Super Bowl, you can watch your TV right here. We'll keep you updated, of course. If you're grilling,
absolutely,
dress for winter.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of sports, coming up in between the media reports, interviews, and more, there was football. Highlights from Minnesota ahead of Sunday's big game. And on display, Super Bowl artifacts, even from Packers history. We'll show you some of them coming up. You're watching NBC 26 today. Stay with us.
And now, NBC 26 Sports with Sports Director Charlie Sakaitis.
Good morning, sports fans. In between zipline rides and press scrums, wading through the Mall of America where the Super Bowl madness is going on this week in Minneapolis, the Patriots and Eagles also managed to get some practice in yesterday. The Eagles worked out in the afternoon at the University of Minnesota, the team going so far as to stop practice for 30 minutes to simulate Sunday's halftime events, which are markedly longer than they are in the regular NFL game. Meanwhile, the Patriots got in their run at the Vikings Winter Park practice facility in Eden Prairie. The biggest names in the New England staff answered questions, including one that Tom Brady has gotten more times than he'd like when he was asked how long he has left in his career.
Why does everyone want me to retire so bad? I don't get it. I'm having fun. The team's doing good. You know, I know I'm a little bit older than most of the other guys, but, you know, I'm really enjoying it. I obviously enjoy the experience of playing in this game. This has been, I mean, obviously a dream come true, you know, many times over. I'm not thinking about retirement. I'm thinking about the Super Bowl and trying to win the most important game of the year.
Tom, they want you to retire because you got 5 rings. This is your 8th appearance in the Super Bowl. They want you out of the way. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the sports. Keeping you connected, I'm Charlie Sakaitis for NBC 26.
And something Tom Brady knows a thing or two about. It's a piece of jewelry all NFL players dream of winning one day. All 51 team Super Bowl rings on display at the Minneapolis Convention Center. From the first ring awarded to the Green Bay Packers back in 1967 to last year's Patriots ring with 238 diamonds. The display even includes video of Patriots players getting their first look at the rings they won recently. You can see which team will be the proud owners of the next ring when the Super Bowl airs here on NBC 26. And turning to weather now, Fish, it's going to be pretty cold all the way till Super Sunday, right? And that's still out there.
If it was garbage day for you, Mo, this is what's floating around probably in your neighborhood. Just be aware of that.
You got to get rid of that. Yeah.
Don't worry, I'll recycle it. All right, here and shortly. But otherwise, just a couple stray flurries here in Green Bay, 7 degrees. It is blustery out here. So not only do we have the cold, we've got the wind chill as well. This is what it feels like outside. 12 below in Green Bay, 19 below in Appleton, and 21 below in Watoma. I think you get the hint. Winter is definitely back. So as we go through the day today, I have a high temperature of 10 degrees, and we've already hit that this morning. Now temperatures have dropped just a little bit, but either way, Mo, we're caught with this cold pattern here for a while, and if you miss one, we're probably going to have to be doing some shoveling, and when the snow falls, boy, hope this monitor doesn't go over. It's windy out here. We'll be talking about that coming up.
All right, stay warm, Fish.
Thanks.
We'll be back after the break, but before that, let's take a look outside on our Green Bay Tower Cam. You're watching NBC 26 today. Stay with us.
Good morning. Coming up on Today, federal investigators have now arrived at the scene of that deadly crash between a truck and a train carrying members of Congress. We are live with the latest on that investigation. Then the shipping wars heating up, what Target is launching today that could change the way you shop. Plus, you don't want to miss the exclusive Super Bowl sneak peek we've got for you this morning. We have those stories, plus Liam Payne and Rita Ora. They will be here to perform their hot new song live. And we see you a little later right here on Today.
Welcome back. Well, a lesson in life from an unlikely place and even more unlikely teachers.
Meet Ezra and Hazel, two goats among many creatures at this Tennessee Rescue Zoo. Now, Ezra, the one with the white beard, was born blind. About the same time Hazel was born, and Hazel took over.
Now, Hazel now functions as Ezra's seeing eye goat to speak. They go everywhere together. They do everything together, with Hazel leading the way for Ezra. We here at NBC 26 nominate Hazel as the GOAT, and by that I mean the greatest of all time.
Well, it shows you how smart animals can be.
And kind and generous, and the camaraderie.
Seriously, that's a good story. Good story.
Absolutely.
And I don't have a good story, though, in the weather world. I apologize for this, but these are your temps. It's 6 in Green Bay, 3 Appleton, 11 in Kewanee, and then I have to factor in the winds. It is blustery out here. If it was your garbage day, sorry about that. Feels like 19 degrees below in Appleton, 18 below in Oshkosh, and 30 below in Anago. So if you're bringing the kids out to the bus stop today, dress them up where you can pretty much only see their eyes, right? The scarf, the whole 9 yards. So today's temperature, we've already hit the high of the day, probably single digits for most of us as we go through the day. Tomorrow, a little bit less wind, 12 degrees, but around a snow moves through, mainly on Saturday. Right now it looks like 1 to 3 inches, maybe a couple isolated higher totals. We'll adjust that as we get closer, but Super Bowl Sunday here on NBC 26, looking just kind of cold. Good day to be watching the tube.
What do you have to say to our groundhog friend?
I hope you don't see your shadow.
I think a lot of us agree. Well, thank you so much for watching NBC 26 today. Today's show is next. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day.